All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Frugal BC show. We got some great news today because let's be honest, crypto is pumping and it's so exciting. It's so good to finally have good news to share. Because man, I think a lot of us were hoping this pump would have started a lot earlier ago, but it does kind of make sense when you think about the lengthening cycles and how that's changing. So, good to hear. Good to have everyone here. We got some people rolling in on all three channels. We are live on YouTube, on Kick, and on Twitch. Currently evaluating which one to go, whether I should go with Twitch or Kick, and then once we do that, we will be back on X as well. But for now, with my current setup, I can only do 3 different channels. I think they should just let you do all of them, but I'm sure there's some reason why they don't. So. We got that going, and so before we kick off, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I'll probably address this a little later as well, is I checked out the Algorand masterclass this last night. Now this masterclass is designed for people. It's kind of designed to bring people in who aren't yet builders, and to have them come in and learn how to build on chain and build something cool. So I watched it and I was thinking like, okay, I'll watch like maybe 20 minutes of this and then I'll try to get through more of it later. I actually watched the whole thing because it was super entertaining. It was actually really well done. I was surprised that Sarah Jane, I'm Twitter friends with her. She's one of the younger folks involved in the foundation. I think she's only like 20 or maybe she just turned 21. I don't know, but she did a bang up job on this presentation. I was really pleasantly surprised, and I think it's worth watching. Even for, I'll be honest, like I didn't learn a ton because a lot of it was stuff I already knew, but it was nice to kind of have sort of a repository of all this kind of like in one spot. I mean, that's what was really cool about it. And there were some things I picked up, like Hasab Pay apparently is going to be expanding to other countries now, not just Afghanistan. To me, that's one of the unsung success stories of Algorand. And so I really highly recommend it. So you can sign up. I'll probably share the link a little bit later on, where you can sign up for it. You can watch. They put all the sessions on replay. It would be kind of fun to play along, but it's kind of in the middle of my workday, and even though I'm independent, like I just try not to have too many interruptions during the day because I still want to get work done. I still want to get things done. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was surprisingly good, and I look forward to future sessions because I kind of have an idea of something I might like to build in the blockchain. And the idea is like you go from zero. Like a lot of people were like non-crypto people who were joining this, which is really neat. So that's just one thing I wanted to start out talking about. William is here, otherwise known as Gary or the Snail. He's different depending on what platform he's on. Watching from Twitch, I appreciate that. And you guys, if you want to watch on Twitch or Kick, I am there as well as YouTube. And like I said, I might do some exclusive. Occasionally I do exclusive. I might do on another Monday show and do it exclusively on Kick and Twitch and maybe X too. Then I'm trying to grow those. I want to see which of Kick or Twitch does better for me. So far, it's kind of a horse apiece. I do have more followers on Kick because I was using that for a while. And so that's what we're doing. William says, I also used Alpha Arcade for the first time. It was unbelievably simple, even off my phone. Oh, wow. Lost on the Memphis game last night, LOL, but it's fun to support the system and try it out. Actually, I like Alpha Arcade a lot. I think it's a great system. Now, it's the same people that built Lofty AI, and I do have my issues with Lofty. I think it's a great use case, but I think there's issues with it that aren't even necessarily their fault. Like, for instance, so you buy this $50 token, right? And that's a fraction of the real estate. And they were measuring your progress by how much it went up, how much the property itself went up in value, which, as you can imagine, most properties pretty much going up these days. It's a pretty sharp increase. In fact, the issue is a lot of people can't afford housing right now. But the token, when you actually go to the market makers, it's totally separate from the price of the real estate. So you might think you're going up and your price will reflect that. I think they might have switched it now. I think they're going more on the AMM price because now the automatic market maker price. I mean, I sold off a bunch of my properties and I got pennies on the dollar. I mean, it was pretty bad. Not pennies on the dollar. That's not fair. But I mean, we're talking like I would get like 20 some bucks for a $50 token. And I just want to, I'm just trying to like offload it. It wasn't, it just turned out it's just not a good investment because the token price doesn't go up the same as the property value. Michael Orr says, I signed up for all those classes, just thinks they are in the middle of the day. So I have to watch the replays. Yeah. Oh, you're getting a little lag. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah. I don't know what I can do about that. Yeah, I guess I was pretty surprised. Actually, I'm gonna take this off. There's a couple of things I'm going to there's a couple of tabs on my end I can get rid of here. Yeah, it is kind of bummer that it's in the middle of the day. Like I said, it's same for me. I just don't want to take the time out of my workday to watch these things because I just want to get stuff done and I don't want to work at night. Well, I do sometimes anyway, if there's meetings to watch and things like that. And I have, I'm independent now. I can pretty much design my day however I want, but I still like have things I want to get done for my subscribers on my other business, which is not related to crypto. And so, but I watched the replay and, there really isn't much you're missing if you're watching on replay other than they played a little game at the end. They did a quiz. It was like ungodly simple. I mean, I was amazed that people were getting it wrong. Snail says, no leg on YouTube, but on Twitch. So keep an eye on both. Well, I appreciate that. Just because I like having a viewer on Twitch will help me get more viewers, I think. So that sucks though. I'm just curious. Let me just pull it up for myself here. I just want to see what it looks like. Seems okay from my end anyway. Interesting. Well, anyway. I didn't have that. Was it audio lagging? Because I didn't turn on the audio. Anyway, so yeah, I think these master classes are great, and even if you can't make it during the day, you should sign up for them because you can watch the recordings. And like I said, you don't get. I mean, I probably would have dominated that quiz. I had every question right when I played along at home, but obviously there's like an app that you use or a website if you don't want to use the app, and you can do it in real time, so you could actually like. I don't think you actually win anything, but Well, yeah, so I mean, we got a lot of cool stuff. Some like simple stuff like Marcus, our partner sponsor, Marcus has a new Discord channel, so we're gonna point that out later. World Chess announcing a digital passport built on Algorand. I'm really, really excited about this. It's so cool. We'll dive into that when we get to it, but it's really awesome. SwePlay on the Sui network sold out of its pre-orders. That's pretty incredible. Honestly, I'm really surprised about that. We'll dive into that more when we get to it, but I was pretty impressed that it sold out completely. Snail says lots going on. There sure is. Hedera and Circle are working on a PayPal competitor. Very, very cool. And yeah, we'll share that link about the Algorand Masterclass too, because you should sign up. You sign up, you don't have to really show up to the sessions if you can't, but you'll be able to get the recordings. Yeah, and I think part of it is the is Sarah's think it's Irish. I think she's Irish, right? Pretty sure she's Irish. Yeah, that accent I really got a kick out of. No, she did a really great job. Just a really good very solid presenter. Which is pretty impressive. It took me a while to not be able to stumble over my words every 5 seconds. So yeah, no, I'm very excited about this. But why don't we get to some charts? Because wow, we're doing some cool stuff here. Oops. I always forget to set this up, and I had it set up for. So we just got green, man. There's just a lot of green. We're Bitcoin over 95,000. That's awesome. In fact, here we go. Zoom that out a little bit. Zoom in a little bit, I guess. Up 13% on the 7-day, and that's not even the best chart out there. Ethereum actually finally waking up a little bit at 1,800. I mean, we were sitting at below 1500 before, so that's nice to see. Tether XRP doing okay, not as great as some of the other ones. And Dogecoin having a moment. Yeah, Solana's up. Solana's up. Everything's up. Look at SWE though. Wow, 77%. Is that the top? Is that the top? Holy 80. Nope. Trump. Stupid Trump coin. I'm sorry. I think I've said this on stream before. I just hate that he launched that stupid coin. I'm happy for the pro crypto regulations. Very happy for that. Not so happy for the. I just think launching a coin when you're trying to get crypto taken seriously is just a bad move. I think we're done. I really do think we're done with these celebrity meme coins. And the reason I think that is because Conor McGregor came out with a coin and no one gave a crap. Everyone's just like, yep, don't care. We're done with that. Of course, it said how he's going to revolutionize. It said he revolutionized whiskey, revolutionized stouts, I think, like beer, like the beer stouts. I don't know that he revolutionized those. From what I heard, his whiskey is actually really bad, but I'm not a whiskey guy, so I have no idea. I just heard that from other people. And so he came out with this coin and he's going to revolutionize crypto. It's like, no, you're not, dude. Anyone who's talking about revolutionizing, everyone who's talking about revolutionizing coins at crypto at this point, it's like, no, you're not. You're just not. Especially not a celebrity meme coin. Cookie says utility coins, Algo, HBAR, XLM, XRP. Heck yeah. In fact, that's kind of our focus of the channel here, is utility coins. That's what I care about the most. Also, I would add SWE to that. Yeah, HBAR for sure. Near protocol is pretty cool, I think. We got some memes, a lot of memes at the top here on the 7-day. I just think 7-day is really interesting because some of these are like darn near 100% up. Yeah, dog with fat. I'm so far underwater on dog with fat, it's not even funny. I just bought it. I bought a little bit for fun, and well, it didn't turn out to be that fun. Yeah, Immutable X up there, Caspa, the graph. But yeah, I think it's cool that SWE is like number 2 on the 7-day. And we're gonna get into that SWE play news because I'll be honest, I was really surprised. I didn't think there was really a market for a new game system, and especially one developed by a crypto company. But apparently we were wrong. And this pump back up is amazing. I mean, I think it's been higher, so we're not at all-time highs by any means. I think it was at $5 at one point, which is pretty impressive. But how about the 24-hour? Who's leading the 24-hour? Yeah, Bitcoin SV. Now, who called that out? I think it was Snail with Groceries, otherwise known as Squilliam on Twitch. Called this one out, and yeah, that's pretty nice looking nice on the 24-hour. Definitely the top coin, followed by Virtual's Protocol. There's another one I've never heard of. I kind of wish when you did this, it would say like their market cap thing. SPX, Dog with Hat, and then Trump, and then SWE. And Helium. So Helium, I'm going to tell a little story about Helium. Thanks to this pump, I was able to, I cashed out my Helium on my Helium mobile account and was able to use that to pay for my next month's bill. So before, when it was 3 something, that wasn't enough. I still had to get maybe another Helium or so. And then because of that pump, I was able to claim the Helium and turn it around and pay for my, so May's crypto bill, or May's Helium mobile bill is paid. By the way, guys, I don't even have a referral link. I probably should in my description, but I'll tell you, this service is really good. It sucked to set up. The onboarding was horrible, but once I got it all set up, it's been a great service, and it's been mostly free. I think I've paid 3 months total in probably the 8 months that I've had it, and everyone else is free because you just turn on the mapping, and when you walk around, you earn, you map their stuff, which is pretty cool. Michael Orr says, does SWE offer utility other coins can't? Hearing a lot about it lately. Curious what the hype is about. What I like about SWE is that they're doing a lot of stuff that I think crypto in general should be focused on, like zero knowledge login. Because what's cool about it is they're setting up the system where you basically can use your social media logins to log into crypto stuff that's connected to your wallet. So you just have to go through that once, and then you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it again. You can just use socials to log in. Because like a lot of people, that's a barrier. And that was one of the things that I really liked on the masterclass, is they talked about the barriers to entry, and that was one of the big ones, is just the complication of crypto. Like, you and I take it for granted, like setting up a wallet maybe doesn't seem like the most complicated thing to us because we're somewhat tech savvy, a lot of us. But for people who are just like normies, let me tell you, it's an intimidating process. I've walked some people in real life through setting up a wallet, and like the stuff you and I would take for granted, it's like brand new, and it's, a little intimidating. So that's some of the stuff. Swee's doing stuff like that I really like, just focusing on user friendliness, which I think is going to bring the rest of the industry forward. So if you ask what they're working on, like that's what I really like. Sui will be pumped by VCs. Well, that's what VCs do. And they do that for a lot of coins. Unfortunately, they haven't been doing that for Algorand. Yeah, what about some of our utility favorites? We'll save, because when we go over to the... I'm very excited about Algorand, but we'll talk about that in a second when we go over to Vestige. And by the way, before, actually, you know what? Before 20 cents. Nice. Okay. Before we do that, though, actually, I want to talk about, wait, let me click on it. Okay, here we go. I want to talk about the Fear and Greed Index, actually, because we are the highest we've been in since maybe the start of the year. I mean, we were really in the doldrums. Probably not a bad buying opportunity. And now we're pumping back up. And it's nice to see the, what was it? Actually, yeah, January 30th is about the last time we were this high on the Fear and Greed Index. So yeah, it's been a rough few months for crypto, and nice to have that back up. We're actually in neutral territory again, which means people are starting to get excited. We're actually really close to that bullish territory, or greed territory, as you might say, which is really nice to see. I like to see that. So just probably help if I drag this over a little bit. I gotta be mindful of this. Yeah, so here you can see it on the right, how much we pumped back up compared to where we were. 53 yesterday, 52 today. But even just last week, we were in 32, 34 territory. And we've been down below 20. I mean, we were more bearish earlier this year than we were almost all of the last half of last year. And crypto was like low, Bitcoin, for example, was much, much lower at that time. So I think that's really, really interesting to see. Like Or says, that's what I like about the Chess Passport launch. Seems like that POC can be used across multiple platforms. Yeah, we're going to dive into that. We're definitely going to dive into that because I'm really excited about that. In fact, I'm going to be, oops, I got to stop doing that. I'm actually going to be making, so I haven't really talked about this on the channel yet, but I turned in my first video to the Algorand Foundation. They are going to be contracting me. They've contracted me to make some videos for them, for their channel, which is really exciting. And it's a nice opportunity, and it should grow my channel as well. And I will say they are paying me for that, which is really cool. Yeah, so let's see Hedera. So Hedera hasn't had quite the pump that the other ones have, but still pretty good. Let's see what it looks like on 7 days. It's still, I mean, it's all going up, and that's good. Now, I was doing some, if you guys, anyone in the audience use Saucer Swap, it's kind of a neat little platform. Some things I don't like about it. It's a little busy. It's a little confusing, and especially the V2 swaps are like kind of wild. Yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate it. Snail says nice, congrats. Michael says very cool. Yeah, it's pretty neat, and it's been an interesting opportunity. So my next video, the reason I brought that up is like I think my next video for them is going to be on the new Chess Passport, but I want to talk about it here too because it's just so exciting, and I have some ideas to like maybe make a kind of do a little B-roll where I'm playing chess. Give me a chance to use my like in real chessboard. Hey, how's the audio? Because I noticed it just peaked out a little bit, and I don't know if that was is it sounding weird? I can always turn it down a little bit. Anyway, so I was using Saucer Swap and I was using the V2 because it had better gains, but the problem is there's like a certain balance point. It doesn't like auto balance. If it comes too far out of balance, like it just shuts down the swap, which is weird. I'm like, why is that? Why would I want that? So like, and it was stuck at like 30 some cents when Hedera was a lot higher is when I did that. So now it's like, it just seems like a big pain. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someone knows like why that is or what the benefit of that is, but it just seems like a worse version of good on YouTube. Okay, awesome. It just seems like a worse version of DeFi. Like, why would I want to like have to worry about whether it's in balance or not? I guess you do it for like higher rewards because the rewards were higher, but if you're not earning most of the time, it seems like kind of pointless. Yeah, my Tiny Man is finally, I'm gonna probably do a channel members only video on that pretty soon. But Tiny Man's looking a lot better these days too. My balance is up above 5 figures again, so that's nice. Yeah, community sentiment here in Hedera pretty good. You know, 88%. I mean, it's always remained high, and same with Algorand. Let's look at XRP. So I know we have some XRP fans. By the way, I really think this is my hottest take. Maybe it's not that hot. I don't know. I think XRP, well, it did not have a good day. XRP did not have a good day compared to the others. Same bullish sentiment. It's actually down a little bit, but not bad on the day or on the week, right? Yeah, actually the week it's only 7%. So actually XRP's kind of lagged a little bit. Very interesting. I guess I'm a little surprised that XRP is lagging compared to, and this one, this thing on the right here, he's kind of lagged a little bit. A little compared to on the right here saying that XRP is overheated, but it's not compared to the other. It's not even a lagger. Like, is it gonna come flying out after the other ones, or what did it? Yeah, it's down on the month actually. That's interesting. Snail says XRP getting another lawsuit. No kidding. Well, we covered that there was, we covered some movement on XRP. Like there was another movement in the case. By the way, if you XRP people, man, they can be they'll come after if they don't like what you say. Michael says, yeah, I thought that was getting resolved soon. Well, they dropped the case, but then there's another case. Hold on. Let's Google. Let's learn together. Here we go. This is from Bitcoin.com news. XRP among 31. Oh, I hate auto-playing videos. I can't stand it. Does that annoy you guys? I can't stand XRP. I wasn't even going to talk about XRP, but here we go. Oh no, the spammers are here. No, the spammers found my chat. They're saying they're the stupid garbage coins. Get out of here, garbage coins. Hey, can you guys report those guys? Oh God. Can you guys, are you guys able to report them? You triggered the bots. Someone triggered the bots. Oh God. I've never seen them on, oh my gosh. The guys watching, yeah, the guys watching on Twitch or Kick aren't seeing this, but yeah, we're being spammed by these like the stupid XAI ones. Like you can't get rid of them. They just add numbers. They just add numbers and letters. You can't even, because there's a moderation tool in, I should move this over. Center that a little bit. There's a moderation tool. Oh God, they found me. They found me. No. Oh, Michael's reporting them. Okay, guys, thanks. Thanks for try to report as many as you can, but I don't know what to do. You literally can't stop them. Hold on. Maybe I can, hold on. I think I can stop them. Because here's the thing. There's a platform. There's a moderation tool. Can I make you guys mods? I think I can do that. Hold on. I'm going to make you guys mods. First, I'm going to do this. Psi 59Z. 59Z. Oops. Z. I'm going to do it in all caps too. All right. Save those. All right, we gotta do some damage here. So I'm gonna pull up. This is off. Okay, good. Well, I just entered the Xi. I just entered the Xi thing into my. All right, save those. Come on, chat. All right. Okay, Michael and Snail, you guys are mods now. I think that gives you powers. I think that gives you powers. Oh no, there's one. No, they won't go away. Hold on. I can add it with the. Okay, hold on. We're being spammed. We're being raided. All right. Here we go. 95Z. Done. Let's see if that stops them. Man, we were like on a roll and then we just get these spam. I never had it happen on a chat before. Anyway, you guys are mods, so congrats. You've been modded. I hear that's an honor in some circles. It's interesting. Every once in a while I get in a mood to like follow like streamer drama, and apparently being a mod is like a big thing. Like if for bigger channels, like being a mod, obviously no one cares about being a mod on Frugal BC, I don't think, but for the bigger ones, like they really do. It's kind of a big deal for some folks. Okay. Okay, back to XRP. Hey, I think it worked. I think it finally worked. This stopped. Oops, here we go. All right, back to XRP. With great power, yes. Thank you guys. You guys are my my knights now. I'll attack those spammers. All right, XRP among 31 crypto tokens declared securities in a new Coinbase lawsuit. Now, I thought there wasn't going to be any more of these, Trump. Oh, because it's, oh, that's right. It's the Oregon one. Yeah, I forgot about that. Stupid Oregon. Nobody likes you, Oregon. It's too bad. It's a really pretty state. Like, I've been in it. It's a really pretty state, but man, like, nobody wants this. Why do you think we voted for someone else? Okay, regulators in Oregon have intensified their scrutiny of crypto trading, with state authorities directly accusing Coinbase of enabling unlawful trading of numerous digital assets. In a recently filed legal complaint, Oregon officials allege that cryptos... Oh, dang it. Another one. We're so close. I thought we had them. All right, anyway. Regulators in Oregon have intensified their scrutiny of crypto trading, with authorities directly accusing Coinbase of enabling unlawful trading of numerous digital assets. In recently filed legal complaint, Oregon officials allege that the crypto exchange's main trading platform and its prime service allowed users in the state to buy and sell dozens of tokens that the state considers unregistered securities. How is that your business? This is what I don't get. Like, that's not your business. We have a Securities and Exchange Commission. That's who handles this, not individual states. And like, listen, I'm generally like a state rights person, but like, this is a broader thing. Like, I've never seen. I just don't think that it's their role to go after. It's irritating. Okay, The filing names 31 crypto tokens, triggering commentary from crypto policy experts due to its sweeping scope. Justin Slaughter, Vice President of Regulatory Affairs at Paradigm and a former senior advisor to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and chief policy advisor at the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, highlighted the breadth of the case. He stated on social media. Yeah, I appreciate you guys swatting them down. Cookie said, I thought the case was dropped. This is a totally different case. This is the state of Oregon making its own case. Like, Oregon, hey, maybe you should get your own state in order because it's like a disaster area. I mean, don't even get me started on Portland. But no, they're going to go after crypto. No one wants you to do this. Okay? There's nobody who's asking for this. Because either you don't care about crypto or you do care about crypto and you want to make your own decisions about it. Yeah, according to Justin Slaughter, the Oregon AG suit actually covers many more tokens than the SEC complaint did, with 31 tokens claimed as unregistered securities. Well, let's just see what those are. XRP is one of them. Okay. Aave, ADA, ALGO. See, so that's the thing. Like, it's not just XRP. ALGO's doing, a lot of these are doing really well. AMP. Nobody's even thinking about AMP anymore. Come on. APE, Atom, AVAX, AXS, CHZ, Comp, Dash, DDX, EOS, File for Filecoin Flow, ICP, LCX, Link, Matic, Mirror, Maker, Near, Power, Rally, Sand. You know, who's even caring about Sandbox anymore? Come on. Sol, Uni, VGX, W Luna. I don't know about W Luna. XRP and XYO. I didn't even heard of XYO. The crypto securities. Now the SEC has dropped its lawsuits against both Coinbase and Ripple Labs, signaling a shift in regulatory approach under the Trump administration. I hope they just say that they don't have jurisdiction, because I don't think this is their business. I really don't. And obviously I'm biased because I think it's dumb in the first place, but I just don't see that this is their business. I really don't. SEC's case against Coinbase, initiated in June 2023 over allegations of operating as an unregistered security exchange, was dismissed without any fines or changes to Coinbase's business model. Guys, I think you did a good job getting rid of those. We need to go hands off, but we also don't need 10K coins. Should narrow it down to top 50, 100. Well, I mean, the market can decide, and I think at some point it'll just, here's what I think, at some point it'll just become, I think we actually might be getting to that point where people launch a new coin and everyone's like, nobody cares, go away. And eventually it just won't be useful to launch a new coin. And then fewer will be launched. But these are all like, these are pretty solid coins too. Like, it's just funny, like, I don't see any of the meme coins in there, which have no purpose, but there's stuff like ALGO. Are you kidding me? Come on. And ADA, you know, I don't love ADA, but I don't hate it either. But I don't see that it should be on this list. I don't think any of these should be. I think this whole thing is dumb. They need to go hands off. We also, yeah, okay, I read that already. Guys, I think we defeated the spammers. They've been quiet now. Appreciate you guys. Good work. Great work. Great job. Okay, so that's what's going on there, but I don't think that explains the XRP price because the other ones are named too. I didn't even know that. I heard nothing about how ALGO is named. Michael says the suit might only affect Oregon since federally it's been dropped. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know how they have jerks. It might. Like, I know that there's, I don't know, but it's a lawsuit. Like, if they can make a rule, like they could legislate and say, well, you can't buy XRP and ALGO here. Like, New York has some really strict crypto rules, but it's through the legislator. It's not suing. So I don't know how the state can sue for something that's a federal matter. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, I guess. So that's XRP. Why don't we move over to ALGO land since, what are we, like 40 minutes into this? Let's see what Algorand has to say. Yeah, I'm liking this. You guys liking this? I'm liking this. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We get sued by McDonald's now. You know, we just got just candle up. Oops, I did the bars. I meant the bands. Can I clear that? Not gonna let me do 3. Well, I know I want to get rid of those. Okay, I'll just refresh it. I'll probably get rid of it. All right. Yeah, I accidentally hit the bars instead of the bands. Yeah, I mean we're just a steady stream up, and it's really stayed below this SMA or stayed above this SMA for the last 2 days, which is really nice to see. Snail says 60 cents will be a thing of the past soon. Yeah, maybe. I'm just liking this movement. I think 25 cents by the end of the weekend is 100% possible. I always like to see what are people saying. KYC is now in USDC announces withdrawal last year. Oh yeah, you must not stay up to date with the chain, dog. Yeah, that kind of sucks too because USDT mixed with I was doing the USDT USDC pool on Tinyman, and it's great. You basically can't lose because the value is not going to go down. So everything you gain is absolutely to the good, and you don't have to worry about your portfolio depreciating. But still, I'm a big fan, and I've talked about this before. I'm a big fan of stable token pairs. So ALGO USDC, great pair because it's going to stay pretty stable. If you add at least one stable coin, it's a pretty nice stabilizing factor. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, Tinyman going up is very helpful to me. I'm getting about $3 a day nowadays, which is 3 something, which is better than it was. So nice to see that heading in the right direction. Who else is doing well? Polkadot had a pretty Polkagold, excuse me, had a pretty good week. Vestige not so much. What else is doing well? What's trending? Oh, Monko down. That's a bummer. Fish stick still very popular, still headed up. Let's take a look at that. Michael says, I did see a Yahoo article about Algorand's RWA use case. So if Yahoo covering Algo and roads are definitely being made. Well, they just, yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. Look at fish sticks. Holy crap. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot where I've been seeing more and more accounts talking about Algorand and real world assets. And that's really nice to see. I think that's really useful. But boy, that's a nice candle up for fish sticks. I'm a little surprised because usually you're about headed to a crash when you see this. This is like a really typical beginning of an ASA, and then it comes crashing down, and then you know what it is. It goes like this, and then But this one, we'll see. We'll see about fish sticks. There's new ones. Wait, Yieldy? Come on. What the heck? It doesn't look like it had a big candle up. Here's Yieldy over time. Is that actually... I'm trying to figure out if that's actually Yield. I guess it is. Yeah, because it was 2023 when it launched and really kicked off like the actual... Wait, was it? I thought it was older than that. Oh no, so much happens in crypto. It's like, yeah, apparently it's still around. It was funny. The Yieldy developer came out and started talking about Yieldy again, and like the Yieldy account tweeted something recently, and everyone's like, nope, we're done. We're all done. We're good. Thank you. Yep, you can go back. Milky, what is this? Got a cute little thing there, little icon. Low liquidity. Something called Discovery came out and is tanking. 100% down just about. Jeez. Oh, that's wild. Well, I think we should get to some news. So I should probably give a shout out to our sponsors, and we'll start because of this. Yeah, we'll start with Marcus Aurelius. Oops, turn that down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we'll start with Marcus because Marcus now has a new Discord server. And in that, they announced that King of Shekels, who is, well, that's all we know about him. Doesn't really have a bio filled out. Apparently he does some stuff. He's a developer. I like the shoe. Good call. I don't think those people ever got them shoes, did they? Snail says BSV absolutely cranking now, 32% up. Nice. I said I'm in, but I don't do Discord much. But anyway, you can. So they got this King of Shekels fellow being the dedicated Discord manager. You can play games, share cat pics, show your project, talk stoicism, and ask questions about Algorand, crypto, and Web3. And everyone is welcome. So I went in. I'm in it now. Can't say that I know a ton about. I have my own Discord. I still haven't opened it up to the public because I just, the problem is when you start stuff like this, you have to have time to manage it, and so I'm very, very reluctant to take on new things unless I can see a big thing. So Snail says I saw Kosh. Oh, King of Shekels Kosh. I get it. Right? So I guess he's the guy that did Kosh. Kosh was never playing when he said the development has started. It's high time you start believing in us. Definitely an Algo fan. I don't know anything about Kosh. Yeah, so lots of cool stuff you can do in there. I'm curious about the games. Someone else was pointing out, like, there was a pretty cool game on Discord that was kind of bookmarked for later to check out. But anyway, big fan of Marcus Aurelius. They are a sponsor of the channel, and I know Marcus is a fan of the channel outside of being a sponsor, which is, I think, why he joined us. And I think they're doing cool stuff. It's just we should pull that up. Yeah, so this is their website and kind of a portal to all the things. They're actually really big on Telegram, and they don't have a Telegram link, which is a little surprising. But look at those little Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Senecat. I like the creativity, and I just think it's a cool project. Seems like a really cool guy that's running it. So they're doing burns. You can get the Marcus token. Snail says going to check it out deeper. Cool. So that's really neat. And then our other sponsor is Non-Fungible Domains. And so, as you know, I have frugalbc.algo. That is my identity built on Algorand. And it makes doing everything in Algorand so much easier because you can just implement, you can just put put your address in frugalbc.algo versus all those letters and numbers. You can see the start of mine up here. It just makes doing everything a lot easier. Plus, they got vaults and segments. In fact, let's. How do I get to that? Yeah, you can see all my assets. All the things I own. Yeah, I bought one of these sniper things. Anyone play the zombie game from Realms? I was kind of surprised. Like, you get one play, you buy a weapon and you get one play. Now, it wasn't very expensive. The weapon box is like 20 algo, which at the time was like, I think about $4. It's probably a little more now. But you get literally one. So if you get killed once, that's it. And I was trying it out on my laptop, which wasn't ideal, so I couldn't really. I mean, it just didn't give you time to get the hang of it, And then vault. So this is, people can send you this stuff. Oh, I still got Gary in the vault. Sorry, buddy. I got groceries with bag. I got Jaws, Algo Tardio. Oh, I want to talk about Algo Tardio too. Actually, I will. So Algo Tardio came out with a game called Tardly, which is like Wordly, but it's, Tardly. And you can just play that every day, and you don't have to give the New York Times your password or any of that stuff. And you can find that if you go to their channel. Let me see if did I play it on here? I think I did. Oh yeah, yeah. Tardle, here it is. Did I say Tardley? It's Tardle. So you can do word of the day, you can do random words. I'll just do a random one because I'll probably play it later. And so you can just play this game. It's totally free. I think they're going to have some like blockchain functionality with this eventually, but it's really fun. Yeah. And so you just make guesses like, so, you know, the multicolors is a little confusing is the only thing I'll say about it. Okay. So this means the red means they're gone, but the yellow means they're in the word, but somewhere else. Yeah, so and then you just go through until you win, until you get them all. And, you know, the goal is to try to do this in as few tries as possible. I'm not going to play the whole game on there, but I just wanted to show you guys because I thought that was really cool. Yeah, and then you can sell them and you can actually create segments too. So I'm actually thinking about access restricted NFT owner until it's unlocked. So I'm thinking about unlocking this and like selling segments so you can get something.frugalbc.algo. Do you think you guys would be interested in that? Would that be fun? I think that's kind of neat. So anyway, I might put that out there later. And then you can, for sale, I don't have any for sale, but if you had some for sale, it would be here. I just created this one. That's all I created for now. So anyway, that's non-fungible domains. And I'm a big fan. I'm reading up on segments more because I want to learn about it. But I'm thinking about doing my own segments. All right, back to... Let me see what else I got here. So World Chess. So a lot of people might know, but Algorand has actually been involved in chess for a while. The FIDE, which is like kind of the main platform, like if you're trying to be like a competitive chess player, like you really want to work your way up to the professional level, that's what you're playing on, right? And that's I believe that's owned by World Chess, right? Let me see if I can find it. Chess. I think this is it. So if you're trying to be like, you know, trying to enter tournaments and stuff. Oh, this isn't it. Wait, is it? No. Yeah, here it is, the online arena. The Algorand Chess Cup. Algorand's all over this thing. Register for free, so you can actually play in here, I think. But this isn't even the main. So is it just Chess Arena? So I think this is where you can get your FIDE ranking. Oh, I found it so easily before, the Algorand Chess Cup. That's pretty cool, I think. So I don't know if you guys are like chess people, but I like it a lot. I don't play as much as I wish I did. But I think it's pretty cool that there's an Algorand Chess Club Cup. So the FIDE World Champions, yeah. So FIDE, Algorand and FIDE Online Arena present an exciting series of online tournaments where everyone can participate and compete for a chance to win a trip to Singapore to witness the epic Ding versus Gukesh battle live. Compete in the Algorand Chess Cup for your shot at this unforgettable experience. Oh, it looks like that already happened. I wish I had known about that. That's pretty cool. I mean, I would have played. You know, I'm not very good, but I'm not bad. Well, anyway, so World Chess and the Algorand Foundation propose leveling the playing field with a chess passport. And this is right from World Chess. In a white paper published today, World Chess and the Algorand Foundation conceptualize a new blockchain-based system that would establish a secure, private, and verifiable credentials for global sports organization, including chess. So it's not just chess, but starting with that. Grandmaster, oh boy, Evgenij Morshnichenko, sorry, man, contributed to the paper alongside the Algorand Foundation and World Chess. This is cool, isn't it? The move comes as interest in chess hits a new high, driven by popular television series on Netflix and the BBC, the 2024 awarding of the youngest ever World Chess Champion, and the inclusion of chess for the first time in the Esports World Cup later this year. I didn't even know about that. If adopted, the system would allow chess players to independently manage their identity and credentials across all chess platforms and organizations with a single decentralized ID and one login credential for everywhere they play. So that's awesome. This is what I'm excited about. And this is some real world adoption for crypto right here. This is awesome. This is what you want to see. They could then easily port their identity games and tournaments. This provides them with a much easier way to prove their identity, no matter their status or documentation. It could reduce tournament application time significantly. Chess organizations would then be able to welcome even more players to their competitions, including those who have built their chess careers solely online, as well as players who have previously only competed in tournaments held by other organizations. That's what I'm talking about, man. Among other benefits, the adoption of a global chess passport would make it much easier for organizers and chess clubs and federations alike to onboard and register players both online and offline. So yeah, really, really cool. We're not going to watch the whole thing. Oh, we have a little video. Let's watch.
Hi there, I'm a chess player. I may not be quite on the level of Magnus Carlsen, but I love online chess and play several times a week. Sometimes I even enter in-person tournaments. They're fun, and it's great to be challenged by new players. There are things I like about a bunch of chess platforms, one for its puzzles, others for their educational content or tournaments. For each of these platforms and clubs, I have a different user account, which can be hard to keep track of. And my progress on one doesn't get me any reciprocal benefits across the others, even when I've worked so hard to earn a certain status. That is, until now. This new solution is like a universal chess passport. It makes it so easy to connect across various chess platforms and see all of my ratings, rewards, and achievements in one place. I now have one chess identity, recognized by everyone. Here's how it works. First, I downloaded an app and set up my credentials. This app issued me a unique identifier that is the foundation of my universal chess passport. All of my memberships, records, and points across clubs can now be linked directly to that ID, and all I need going forward is this simple app. So after getting the app, I connected it to the FIDE online arena. After going through a simple KYC process, they issued a verifiable credential to confirm my identity. I can see that credential here in the app. The platform then also issued me credentials to certify my rating and my active pro membership, plus a bunch of tokens to represent my loyalty points. These are linked with my unique identifier, issued instantly and visible to me in the app. Even though FIDE Online Arena issued me the initial credentials, all I have to do now to start playing on another platform is connect this same app. My chess ID is instantly recognized without the need to create a new profile or build my rating up from scratch. Then one day, I realized that the 2025 championship for my regional club was about to take place. To join the tournament, I needed to prove I was an active member of the club and my rating was within the eligibility range. But drats, I missed the online registration cutoff.
My rating would not be eligible for that tournament. I'm usually 1200 at best. Like when I'm playing really well, I might get. I've been up to 1200 on some chess. Usually, what's the one that's like 10 minutes? I think is the one I do best on. I think that's like rapid. I haven't played in a while actually. It kind of makes me want to play again.
I decided to walk on down and see if I could join up last minute. I showed the organizers my app. They scanned the QR code to connect and were instantly able to verify my identity thanks to the credential issued by World Chess. Plus, they could confirm my active club membership and see my rating, and it all happened instantly. And with that, I was in. Watch out, prize fund. I'm coming for ya. Okay. I may not have taken home the tournament grand prize, but I did get some winnings. As soon as the organizers recorded my result, the prize money was released to my wallet and I was on my way. Just like that, one single app has unlocked all these new opportunities for me to take my game further.
Yeah, so this is why this is so cool. Michael Orr brings up a good point. He says, I want this sort of app for the rest of my life, so many sign-ins and passwords to manage. Yeah. And that's what this is. This is why this matters. It's not just about chess. This is like the proof of concept for a much bigger, more important thing, and that's having all your identity in one place. Like, so I can have one passport and I can take that and I don't have to keep verifying myself, but it's zero knowledge proof. So, oh, you should learn chess. It's wonderful. It's good for your brain, I think. But what's cool about that is, like, so imagine I have this digital identity and I go to the store and I can just scan that, like when I'm buying beer or something, I can scan that passport. They don't have to know my birthday. I don't have to share my birth date or any verifying information. Or I can do that online for different things too. So I can share that, but they can verify it without actually seeing it. That's the whole zero knowledge concept. And I think a lot of people, like, that can be kind of a tough concept. It's like, how do you verify something without verifying it? Does that make sense? Actually, yeah. So that's one of the things I thought Sarah Jane did a really good job explaining during the the masterclass yesterday. So, well, it wasn't yesterday, but I watched it yesterday. She did a really good job explaining zero knowledge proofs, which can be kind of I mean, just on the high level, not obviously the technical part of it she didn't really get into, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I'm really excited about this World Chess Passport. I definitely want to get one, even if I don't use it all that much. Like, I think it's awesome. I wonder if it's going to work for like all the apps. Because like I play on Lichess, so it'd be cool if I could take that passport and import it to Lichess. And yeah, I'm very excited. Now, I'm just trying to see like where it's also a safeguard for fair play. You know, so chess becomes increasingly integrated into esports and online competitions. The use of AI programs or player fraud is an increasing concern. Yeah, for sure. I think chess needs its version of the global version of driver's license. It's a global name, and using blockchain for the benefit of having one universal, independently verifiable ID is something that both players and organizations will certainly benefit from. Totally agree. So here's they're talking about what I'm talking about. This initiative is not just about chess, it's about the future of fair play and verifiable achievement across all sports and esports. Statista, I don't know how you say that, estimates that the market for esports should reach 4.8 billion in 2025 with nearly 900 million players by 2029. They just put source. I guess they meant a link there and they didn't add it. All of which could benefit from better cross-platform registration for online and in-person competitions. So you can see the full white paper here, and then they have they say chess platforms, esports organizations, and other parties interested in contributing can get involved by contacting engineering at Algorand.Foundation. Dude, I so wanna I want this yesterday. Let me tell you, as soon as this is live, I am getting it. Yeah, so Chess Arena is their official site, but it doesn't say. It used to say powered by Algorand. They're not in the official partners anymore. Yeah, I don't know if that's still if you go to partners. I don't know. It used to say powered by Algorand, but I don't see that anymore. Six Sun, welcome to the show. It says, where do you see Algo's price by the end of 2025? I'll be honest, I'm totally thrown off by the way the market has been going. It's been wild. So, um, I was shooting for, originally I was shooting $2 to $3. Then I started thinking maybe $3 to $5. And I still don't think that's impossible. But I think $2 to $3 would be a pretty safe bet. And at this point, it'd be a pretty high bar for most people. It'd be a good thing for sure. For most people, that would be big gains. For me, it would be huge gains. Oh my God, $3 would just be like enormous. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, so I want to talk about the SweePlay thing here, because the SweePlay, it's a device that Sui came out with to play games on. It's like a handheld device. Our thing won't show it, so we'll show what it looks like. And it already sold. The pre-orders already sold out, which is wild, because this thing came out and I thought, do people really want another gaming platform? Now, one thing I will say about Sui is they've done a pretty amazing job of getting games out and live, and it went really, really fast, which is surprising. So we're going to get to that, but look what's trending. Algo's trending. Oops, right there. And I don't think they're doing that thing anymore where it's tailored to you, because I haven't seen Algo trending in a long time. I could be wrong. Anyway, SweePlay. And that's a wrap. Pre-orders are now officially closed. We're completely sold out. Thank you to everyone who jumped in early. We can't wait to get your SweePlay OX1 to you. Shipping begins this summer. So it's coming out in summer. We'll see. We'll see. I hope it does. I'm always a little skeptical of timing with stuff like that. Gaming evolved only on Sui Network, for gamers, for devs, for everyone. Let's play. I'm trying to show if they showed what it looks like. Let's go to yeah, so here's what it looks like. Oh no, that's pretty cool. I mean, it looks like a nice slick machine. I guess, like I said, I didn't know that so many people would be interested. I don't know how many pre-orders they took. I don't know if they said that anywhere. Trading card games go to Sui. Really? Let me see. Parasol brings trading card game experience to Sui. For decades, trading card games, collectible monsters, and gacha games, think Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Captivated Legions, blah, 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 blah. They stayed in Web 2. Now that's changing. The release of new open source game called Capybara Fusion. The upcoming Code of Joker Evolutions and more large-scale collectible-based games coming soon. Parasol is showing developers in the world that Sui makes it possible to marry Web3 technology with the massive scale of these games. Okay, so they got their own new game. It is impressive. So someone asked like Sui's utility. It's really grown as a gaming platform. I was kind of surprised at the number of games that were available on Sui, like it's in its first year, because Algorand games took so long. You know, some of the games I saw in Decipher that I played versions of still aren't live. Like Age Your Tactics has taken forever to come out. I think that Trantorian just shut down. Michael says, I hope if it reaches those numbers, there isn't a big sell-off. Are you talking about Algo? Oh, there'll be a sell-off for sure. People are going to take profits. I mean, that's guaranteed. Probably fewer though, because so many people are also gaining on staking, and they're gaining in Algo. They're getting rewards in Algo. So when they're staking, they have an incentive to keep locked in. So you're probably going to see less sell-off than like a chain that doesn't have a lot of buy-in like that. Michael Orr says, gaming is such a great idea to get younger generation into crypto, or at least familiar with it. I agree. They just have to do it right. That's been one of the challenges of crypto, is that Web3 gaming in particular, so much of it has been scammy, and that's rough. Gala is like the perfect example. Gala's been such a nightmare. I mean, just they did everything wrong that you could probably do with Web3. They've done it. Code of Joker. Little anime style game there. I just want to kind of scroll through a little bit. I kind of like, call me crazy, but I kind of like the little cartoony type games, or like the retro style games. I'm not like a Call of Duty guy. I was playing First Descendant for a little while, but it got kind of stale. Actually, believe it or not, I've been playing Rocket League lately. So I played it for the first time like this week. It's really fun. It's like a fun game. It's perfect for me because, I just want to like, I kind of don't want to get into like a really involved game. Like my life is involved enough. Like I just kind of like that you can just play this game and it's fun. It's intense, but it's also like, I mean, you can play like 1 or 2 games, or you can play like 5 games, or you can play all night if you want. So I've been enjoying Rocket League a lot. I think it's a fun game. It's free. It works on my PS4. If you noticed, I think this is interesting too. I've looked at games on the PS4 and PS5, like brand new games that are coming out. They don't look that better than games from like 5 years ago. In fact, some of them look worse. I think that's so weird. When I was like really heavily into games when I was younger, I remember Nintendo going to the Super NES, and it was like such a huge graphical difference, and then going to like PS1, it was like, whoa, holy crap, and then PS1 to PS2 is still a pretty big jump, and then PS2 to PS3 was like, it looks better, definitely looked better. 3 to 4 just didn't seem like much, and 4 to 5 like almost nothing. You know what I mean? Because you can only get so good. Once it gets realistic, how much more realistic can it get? I guess, right? I will say, like when I was playing First Descendant, though, like my PS4 would lag so badly. If you had like if you had like tons of enemies on the screen, it would just like slow down to like a frame a second almost. Like it would just get stuck. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Suite, and it's doing really well. Snail says, yeah, not many games coming out these days. There's not a lot I'm excited about. I saw Marvel Rivals look pretty fun, but it wasn't enough that I was gonna like break down and buy a PS5. Anyway, yeah, so good for Suite. Like I said, I was really surprised that it sold that well. I wasn't expecting that. We'll see. I don't know, but you don't know how many pre-orders they did, so maybe it's really not that much. Let's see what else we got here. Got a couple more. Actually, just one more, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the masterclass again. So HBAR and Circle apparently are working on a PayPal competitor with Hedera council member Google. Kind of interesting, huh? Let's dive into this here. USDC liquidity on HBAR has been exploding, and now an insider claims that Google, Circle, and Hedera are working on a new Google Pay app built on Circle and Hedera stablecoin infrastructure. It would make sense because Google is a Hedera council member, but I don't think there's a real source for this yet. That's pretty nice, though. Always good to see that. It says, doesn't seem to square with this, that PayPal and Coinbase are teaming up. I don't know that that's... Well, Coinbase isn't involved with this, so it doesn't... Yeah, it shouldn't have anything to do with that. They'd be competitors, yeah. No, I think that's crazy. Why would they say that? So it still seems to be rumor mill. They don't conclude a source, so I'm going to take this with a bit of skepticism, but it would be cool if it's true, because it looks like I followed this guy. Is he big? Pretty big. That's cool. ChatGPT refers to HBAR as the most advanced crypto on Earth, and if you had to pick just one, it would be Hedera. What do you think? They talk about over 10,000 TPS, but I don't think Hedera's been tested. Where Algorand actually has been tested, to be fair. It's actually clocked in at like 15,000 before. They've had blocks where it clocked in at 15,000 max. Darth Jar Jar's trending. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, I see a lot of people sharing stuff, but there's no source for this, so I don't know how legit this is, but definitely something to keep an eye on. You know, I don't think it's like untrue necessarily, but we just don't know yet. And 22 hours ago, Sean posted breaking 270 million USD worth of HBAR purchased today as investors accumulate ahead of TikTok acquisition by Hedera. Is that true? Is this guy's posting a lot of rumors. Let's see. TikTok Dara. Well, this was from April 7th. OnlyFans founder firm behind Hedera bid to buy TikTok. A startup run by OnlyFans founder Tim Stokely has partnered with HBAR Foundation, the digital asset nonprofit behind the decentralized network Hedera, to submit a late-stage bid to acquire the controversial short video app TikTok from its Chinese owner ByteDance. As reported by Reuters, so we got a source, the intent to bid was sent to the White House by Zoop, billionaire Stokely's new startup company. I heard about Zoop. I don't know anything about it, but and the HBAR Foundation, which supports the growth of the Hedera ecosystem by funding and assisting projects that build on the network. What is Zoop? Let's just get a good sense of what Zoop is. Zoop is a way to customize your fan experience. Oh, they got comic books. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a crowdfunder, it looks like. Looks like mostly for comic books. I was like really into comic books when I was young. I was a big Image guy. I was a big Marvel guy, and then Image came along, and I was a big Image guy. Cool covers. I like this Paradox one. That looks really detailed. Haunting Girl. It's a nice looking one. So a guy I went to high school with and I was somewhat friends with, not like really good friend, not really close friends, but pretty good friends, is Tim Seeley, who worked on Image Comics, and he created oh gosh, what was it called? I'm drawing a blank. Oh man. Totally, hold on. I gotta look him up. He did a book called Revival, which is kind of based in my hometown. Tim Seeley, yes. Really nice. Wait. How did they not have his... Oh, that's weird. They don't have his original I'm drawing a blank. It was about like the whole concept was about the girl in the movie, but she survives. The girl in the horror movie, but she survives, and then she goes after the monsters, I guess. That's weird. They don't make any reference to it at all. Oh, Hack and Slash. That's what it was. Hack and Slash. So that was like kind of his breakout series that he created, and he penciled. I think he wrote it too. And then he also came out with Revival, and he just wrote it. He didn't do the pencils on this, but that takes place in my hometown. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then his I worked at Target with his youngest brother Brad, and then his older brother Steve Seeley was in my grade. Anyway, I just thought of that because of in fact, I have it's on the other wall. I can't really show it to you, but I actually have a pencil drawing that he made of me as Peter Parker, the reporter. So it's me. It's like a stylized version of me. Actually, you know what? I can go get it. Hold on. Switch over here. Yeah, so this is the drawing he made of me to BC. So it's me as a reporter. Obviously, I don't have quite those sharp of features, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Reporter, obviously. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just wanted to show that because I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, so this is Zoop anyway. So let's go back to yeah, pretty cool, huh? Snail says. Anyway, Stokely made his fortune by founding OnlyFans and internet content. Well, we all know what OnlyFans is. Communicate directly with their customers or fans to whom they charge a fee. Yeah, fans. That's a good way to put it. I guess there are some people, there are some like famous people who like use it and they don't like post, they just post stuff on it. Like they don't like post, anything extracurricular, so to speak. Phillips went on to say that our bid for TikTok isn't just about changing ownership, it's about creating a new paradigm where both creators and their communities benefit directly from the value they generate. So it kind of looks like, I mean, I can see how that sort of lines up with what Zoop seems to be trying to do. But they didn't really explain. There's campaigns, store, some your project. How come it doesn't just have like a notification on launches? Customize your fan experience using Zoop, a user-friendly platform that redefines crowdfunding for comic book readers, creators, and publishers. Yeah, so it's basically here's the about. Yeah, basically a a way to crowdfund your comic book. I think that's cool. So apparently there is something to this. That's really interesting. We're not gonna read that whole thing. I just thought that was kind of cool. So apparently he is on the level. Very cool. All right. Yeah, so last thing I want to talk about, I'm going to share Sarah's post here. I want to talk about this masterclass. I know I talked about it at the beginning, and I really highly recommend, and if you're new here, by the way, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button or follow us if you're on Twitch or Kick. Either one of those. Good to have you here. So Sarah posted this yesterday. Wow, we just had our first Web3 masterclass. Actually, this was, when did she post this? The 22nd, maybe? Yeah. A solid 500 people showed up live for the majority of the session, and just a few hours later, with replays rolling in, already hit 1,000 attended. Very cool. So you should definitely sign up for this. I'm going to pull this up. And in fact, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link in chat here. Sent that to all 3 of the channels. I wish I just had a master chat that I could put in there with just Frugal BC across all 3 platforms. But anyway, that's the link if you want to sign up. It's totally free. They do them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now it's at noon my time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So depending on where the world you are, this might be a good time for you or it might not. I think that's kind of why they had to do it, because a lot of the European people, this is going to be evening for them. And then it's like during the day for Americans, or North Americans, I should say. If you're Mexico or Canada, same. And then these are kind of like what they say. So they say master the fundamentals, unlock Algorand's potential, transform ideas into reality, explore the world of NFTs and digital assets, hands-on and practical learning, access mentorship, and join a thriving ecosystem. So I had this idea. I might try it. I want to see how hard it is. I'm just going to go through the master classes. But the thing I want to point out about this, though, is if you sign up and you register, you get access to the other classes. So you can watch them on replay. I'm probably not ever going to be available live for any of these. I'm at this time, I'm usually recording videos for... I kind of record while I'm cooking my lunch, and then I make my lunch, and then after lunch I edit. So I'm probably never going to make one of these live, but if you register, you get access to the replays, and you really don't. I didn't feel like I missed much watching on replay. I couldn't chat obviously or join in the little quiz they had, but other than that, that's not really that important to me. But I have this idea. I want to try this out because I have this idea. One of the things I found it's really, really hard to do is to do giveaways that where you don't get scammed, where you make sure the people have access to the funds if they win. It would have a mechanism where, say, like I partner with Realms and Realms would be given away. You know, they can deliver it on their end, and then and then they deliver it to the app through a smart contract. And I think that'd be really useful. And then I don't know if there's a way to monetize that. Like I would, you know, if I was building the platform, I'd want to like maybe take a small cut, you know, of each transaction or something, or each, not each transaction, but maybe a giveaway of like, so if there's 1,000 Nico, you know, maybe I get 100 of it or 10 of it or 50 of it or whatever's appropriate. Uh-oh, my viewership just went to 0. That's weird. Did I get kicked off or something? Is it because I was talking about giveaways? Oh, I'm back. All right. I thought I got banned or something. All of a sudden my view went to 0. Anyway, so I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know how hard that is to build, but they're talking about like no code building too, so I want to look into that. Anyway, that's my idea. Snail says I'll have to look into that considering. Thanks for showing us. I mean, you might as well. It's free. There's no cost to it. So you might as well register and you'll have access if you want it. And if you never use it, I like, this is a good lesson in optionality. You know, if you got a chance to give yourself an option for something and it doesn't cost you anything, you should always take the optionality. Because the worst case scenario, you don't use it. The best case, you actually get it. Snail says it lagged for a minute. Yeah, I thought something happened because all of a sudden it just dropped off to 0. Interesting. Anyway, I just want to give that a shout out again because I was really, really impressed with how good it was. And I started feeling like I was being over flattering because I was telling Sarah what a good job she did, because I really did think she did awesome. Like I said, it was way better than I expected. I turned it on thinking, oh, I'll go through this for like maybe 20 minutes and then I'll come back to it maybe tomorrow. I just watched the whole thing because it was pretty entertaining. It was interesting. It was you know, I'm very curious about this stuff. And even though I felt like I knew a lot of the information, it was kind of nice just to see it all compacted in one place. So yeah, like the link is in the chat. If you guys are interested in that, do check it out because I think it's pretty cool. And I kind of want, you know what? Just before we go, I'm gonna go pretty soon, but I want to see if there's any changes in the market. Yeah, Bitcoin's still 95.4. Yeah, look at Bitcoin SV. Oops. Bitcoin SV at 43%. Snail's very happy right now. And Dogwood Fat is pumping. So is Sui. Floki is back up there now. Pendle. Helium doing very well. Yeah, interesting. On the week, yeah, it's still Trump followed by Sui on the weekly. And Dog with Hat is up there too, along with this virtuals. Yeah, looking nice. Coin market cap 100 looking really nice. Trending coins, it's Bitcoin, Sui, Sol, Pengu, and BSW. Okay. Snail Grocer says easy. Terra node is coming. That's cool. I just think I'm really excited about finally having something nice to talk about with crypto. Like it just feels good. It feels good to have good crypto stuff happening versus earlier it was just so frustrating. All right. Well, I don't know. We're getting some viewers, so maybe I'll keep going. Do I have anything else on my? Well, one of the things I've been wanting to talk about is I'll admit I do not know very much about this. Oh, I got a spam in Twitch. Cheap viewers on Stream Boo. Yeah, we're not doing that. Our Grown Child founder is still holding ecosystem hostage. He's talking about, this is ADA. This is talking about Cardano. So is he really the Cardano CEO? Oh, it's a parody account. Okay. The parody account says it right there too. The fiat chain. Oh, good point. Michael Orr asked, was there any more news about the fiat chain? I have not heard much since Silvio made his announcement. I've been keeping an eye out for it. You know, Silvio, I think he's just kind of building in the background and setting this stuff up. And then I imagine it'll be a little while before there's much news there. So I really don't know. This is the reference. Charles Hoskin says, if we go to RFPs for everything, ALGO will not participate and will eventually exit all development after reaching a stopping point. It's a race to the bottom is not sustainable. I can't find anything about this. I even asked I just realized this is a new, wait. Hold on a second. Was hoping Jaws would join in. Yeah, I was kind of sorry about that. I just want to check something because no. Okay, never mind. Michael saying I was hoping Jaws would chime in. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody talk about it yet. So anyway, I've been trying to figure out what this RFP thing is, and I'm just shocked that I can't find. I haven't been able to dig up much on what this is all about. Well, I know what an RFP is. So RFP stands for Request for Proposals, and it sounds like there's something where everything that gets done for the chain maybe has to go through RFP, and Charles doesn't like that. That's the general sense I get, but I still don't. I have this kind of there we go. You can see that's Charles Hoskinson now. I don't know what this is about, and I couldn't find like a good source for an explanation saying, hey, this is what this means, etc., etc. So it's very strange. But if anyone knows about that, or if you find a source, even if you're watching on replay, do let me know. Because I scrolled through here and I couldn't find much either. Maybe this will help. Let's see. Real Toro says, man, my voice is going. You know, I think he might be talking about like an RFP where you have to make proposals to the general populace and they decide on that. And I think he's saying he's not wrong. Majority of people in crypto have a simple mindedness to them about R&D. They think they're retarded monkey NFT 100x in 1 week. The pace of development should match that. I mean, I don't 100% disagree, but I don't quite agree either. I think there's some pretty smart people. Michael says, gotta run. Thank you for doing these live shows. Always fun. Yeah, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. It really is. Oh, I got this. Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing them. Although my voice usually runs out by the end, but I appreciate it. Okay. Let me just see. We're gonna cap off here pretty soon anyway. Dono. Charles. Yeah, see, I looked for it before. This is the problem with Twitter is you never get the person. Interestingly enough, okay, on this one, Sebastian, who is the founder of Pyma Studios, which he was originally an Algorand builder, as I recall. You know, the problem with Pyma Studios is I couldn't log on with my Para wallet because it was rekeyed and it didn't allow for rekeying. So I kind of couldn't use it. So Sebastian said, as the person who originally wrote some of the explanation as to why stablecoins that need a freeze function weren't doable on Cardano, I can confidently say that this is no longer the case. You can build whatever you want, and claiming otherwise is a skill issue. I even worked with microproofs at Pima Studios to emulate the account model used by Ethereum at the Plutus level, and there's even a prior art on how to tackle this problem. And you'll very soon see a demo of CK contracts Halo 2 on Cardano, so you can take it even further. A note, tokens on Cardano are not freezable by anybody by default. Making that a token can be frozen is something the contract author would have to explicitly do from the start. Cardano chose permissionless as the default. So Charles wrote in response, this is why all normal RFP qualification processes typically involve a posting of the functional and non-functional product requirements and a time period for vendors to demonstrate that they can be satisfied with a proof of concept. Success gives them a right to bid on the RFP. We didn't have that right. Nothing was published, and an unelected bureaucrat decided himself what Cardano can and cannot do, and then unilaterally excluded a nearly $40 billion protocol without any debate or oversight. IOG isn't even allowed to bid on RFP. This isn't what we fought over the last few years in Wyoming. It's disgusting and shameful. It will eventually get resolved, but sadly it sets the state back, and all involved have hurt the reputation and credibility of Wyoming's blockchain efforts. Okay, so they were responding to an RFP on Cardano. So is he saying, like, I just don't know what the beginning of this is. This is one of the frustrating things about Twitter in general, is you get like the end of the conversation and you rarely get to go back to the beginning. And for some stuff, like if it's just like some drama that's interesting, it stops being interesting the further I have to go back. I just think, okay, never mind, I don't care. So I've really tried to dive into this. I still don't know what it is, and hopefully we'll get there soon. But all right, well, I think it's lunchtime for me. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I think we had a really nice live stream today, and I really do encourage you to check out that blockchain workshop. Like I said, the first module, you'll probably know everything. You might know a lot of stuff going in, but they walk you through a lot of stuff. One of the things I talked to Sarah about is I thought that first module, if you took out all the builder stuff, it would be a really great intro to crypto, and not just like intro to crypto and how it works, although it does a good job of that, but also like it shows a lot of real world use cases that people can see and go, oh, I get that. I see how that would work. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitch and Kick, even if you don't watch us there. Just if you want to tune in occasionally on that, I'd appreciate it. You can watch the replay there too. And otherwise, I'm FrugalBC, and I will see you in the future. Yeah, thanks, Snail. Have a